Welcome to Business Focus, a production of the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, LJ Wilson, and today we have Iris Britt, the president and CEO of Iris Britt Consulting. Today we're going to talk about your business and your dedication to the military with your business. Thank you for coming to Business Focus.
Oh, thank you so much for having me today.
So Iris, let's just start it off. Can you tell me about yourself?
Oh, sure. I know everyone always asks that question, but yes, I'm actually a native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I started my business in 2006, and I have a passion for entrepreneurship and a passion to see that achievements are done well. And so one of the things I wanted to do when I started my business was really look at what businesses and what areas of focus that I wanted to specialize in. And the two main areas were nonprofit, working with fundraising and philanthropic readiness, and also government contracting and business development. My company is really, the goal of my company is really to provide results. You know, a lot of companies say we do this, we do that, but I want to be a results-driven company, and I want to provide solutions to companies and customize to what their needs and mission is.
So when did you start your business?
I started my business actually in 2006, and it was on a very small scale because it's interesting how this whole thing got started because I was still working full time. But again, as I said, I always had this desire to do something for myself. I had the entrepreneurial spirit, if you will. And so I started in 2006. I took my time and did all the incorporation papers, and then just gradually, as the economy changed and the economic downturn, things weren't moving as well. I thought, I have over 25 years experience in the field of nonprofit management and public sector administration, university advancement. Why don't I just take all these things and make it work for myself? Because if I'm going to work a 12 or 13-hour week, I might as well work a 12, 13-hour for myself. So, and that's how I actually got started. And as I said, even though it's been 9 years, it was a gradual process.
So with that being said, you kind of said what the goal of your business was. Can you say it again in like define it in
sure. Yeah, it's tied into the mission. Is that I want to provide a strong business focus, results driven business solutions to businesses and nonprofits around fundraising, philanthropic readiness, and business development and government contracting. That truly is the goal. And getting back to, I know you had asked me to say something more about myself. Anxious to talk about my business, but I am a graduate of the University of Pittsburgh. I'm a member of the Delta International Business Management Society. I'm an avid football fan, Pittsburgh Steelers. I love to travel. I skydive. And
you're adventurous.
I'm very adventurous, and I've lived in some interesting places like Bahrain. My husband was in the Navy, and he's now a retired naval officer, and so we've traveled quite a bit. So that's kind of rounds out some of the things that I've done.
Okay. With that being said, who are some of the clients that have benefited from your services?
Actually, there are three that come to mind. The first one is the National Association of American Veterans. And, that's an organization that has been around 11 years, and they provide services to veterans like caregiving, respite care. They offer housing vouchers. They offer emergency services. And I was approached by them to help their board with some strategic planning and really look at doing a fund development plan around fundraising. So about maybe a year ago, we did an actual event, and it went very well. I mean, We got in-kind services to actually host the event from Pepco. We had speakers from the Hill. We even had one of the original Tuskegee Airmen to
Wow.
attend the event.
That's amazing.
And because it was the first annual, the board didn't feel real comfortable in setting the goal too high, so we set the goal for $50,000, but we actually made $55,000. We provided 14,000 to the American veterans. We provided at least services in the area of around 14,000 veterans, and we served the DC metro area. At one point, they were reaching out to to veterans all over the world. But with the economy and the decline in federal support, it was thought that, we should do more in the DMV area.
As a business owner, what are some of the internal and external challenges as it relates to change in the business environment?
Yeah, nobody likes change unless they change it themselves. But it's been apparently clear that, some of the things you have to look at, there's always increased competition. That's kind of a given. As I mentioned before, the decline in federal support. You have to consistently be aware of expectations. I mean, there are greater expectations of businesses now. It's not just, I'm here, I can do it. It gets back to what I said earlier about solutions. People want to know that you're going to provide them a solution, and it's going to be timely, and it's going to be results driven. So that's my whole focus, is that it's results driven. But the other thing I think people need to know about the internal and external challenges is that, there are so many human resources that you need. You have to continuously think about teamwork. If you're a sole proprietor, like myself right now, so you have to think of teamwork in terms of people, your colleagues and the folks that you're working for, that you're doing things as a team for the benefit of a good outcome. And so those are just some of the challenges. There are many more, but those are just some. Lastly, though, I'd like to say accountability, I think, is a critical one, because you can't just say I'm accountable. You have to demonstrate that you're accountable to your clients.
That's a very good point to make. Iris, thank you for joining me today.
Sure.
If you're interested in learning more about Iris Britt Consulting, please visit www.irisbrittconsulting.com. Again, this is Iris Britt, President and CEO of Iris Britt Consulting, and I'm your host, LJ Wilson, and thank you for joining us on Business Focus.